basically one of the things I wanted to talk about before we start cooking is, yes, we are a very diverse group of people because we come from the Spanish and we come also from African Americans. And when I say, no, African Americans, no, Africans, I'm sorry, I'm used to the compound phrase. We come from Africans and we come from Europeans. Um, there is a huge population of Arab immigrants, and is the largest immigrant population in Colombia, and those are the Arabs. And I mentioned this because my dad is Lebanese, and he was born and raised in Lebanon until he was more or less 15, and then he moved to Colombia. And like us, there are other 8 million Arabs in Colombia.
Wow.
The just to tell you, our country is more or less 45 million people, so that 7 represents the largest immigration population. You could think it's a big number. We Anna was telling you, depending how where we live, our dishes are we use different ingredients, right? And basically the reason is because we have so many climates, like Ana Maria said. So let's say in Bogota, they cultivate different kind of vegetables and roots that we do in the Caribbean coast. So what the Colombians do is whatever they have, they cook with. For example, the arepas, that it's a very typical dish or from all the regions in my country, are made different. Like in Santander, we make them with the corn meal with cheese, and then you see other people that do actually put flour in the arepa, and some others make it with the corn itself, so they are sweet. But it's because what they produce is what they use. And you will see the reflection of that will be today. The dish I prepared, as I was explaining, Shan, when I started. This dish takes like 3 hours to prepare. We usually prepare it on fire, on wood. I didn't prepare it on wood, but I prepared it at home, and it takes many hours. So I prepared it, and because we're gonna donate, the exchange group is gonna donate to the COVID group the food. I already pack it and everything, so that it cools a little bit before Chan transports it.
Oh, you're so nice.
Yeah, thank you guys. And then one of the things I want to highlight about Colombians is that for our country, education is quite important. While you will find a lot of differences in between the social classes, not really classes, the social groups, we have a very large population of poor people that is not as the same as the medium class, which you would want to have medium class, but we have a very small population of rich. All of the social classes in Colombia, they tend to enjoy education. And you will find even that you get in a taxi, and the taxi driver is a physicist. And then you go to a grocery store, and the person that is cutting the meat, and they are looking for a technical work to do rather than a profession, because we educate and over-educate our people, but then we don't have positions for professionals to offer them a good paid job. So they end up with no employment. The other thing I wanted to say is Colombians are hardworking people. And I don't say it because I'm Colombian, but I was watching yesterday, I don't know if you guys have paid attention to this program that is in Netflix now. There is I think it's called Immigration World or something like that. It's a new program. It's about how ICE is capturing all these people without a status in the US. And one of the things that they repeat over and over, even the police, they say, they are such a hardworking people. And they are referring to all these immigrants that are Latinos that they are charging them and then taking them out of the country.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to say is, as you know, somebody mentioned we export coffee and we have one of the best coffees in the world. We also export flowers. We export roses, and our roses are one of the best roses also in the world. And if you ever get to go to the grocery store and you buy bananas, make sure you look at the bananas and make sure that they are from Colombia, and you will see the Colombian bananas are the sweetest bananas ever.
Oh.
With that said, we're gonna talk about the soup I'm preparing today. The soup usually people prepare it with chicken or beef, and some people call it the triphasic because they put beef and chicken and pork. Today I just prepared chicken and beef ribs. We tend to eat it with the beef that is very fatty, and we actually eat the beef with the fat because we love it. I guess it's part of our culture to eat the fat in the beef. But the soup itself has a very good flavor, and all the flavor, because I was trying to compare with other other soups I eat, right? And then what are the ingredients that make this soup special? I think there are three ingredients. One is the coriander and the cilantro. You know, the coriander is the seed of the cilantro. And the other ingredient is the lime juice. By the way, in our country, we don't have word for lime juice or lemon. For us, the green ones are lemon, not lime. So if you ever hear someone telling you, oh, use lemon, and that person is from Colombia, ask them yellow or green, because we're talking about the green ones. And the cumin. Cumin is really, really important in this soup. If you don't put the amount of cumin that I'm telling you, you may not feel the difference. Although if you have not tried it before, you won't know. So the origins. Is there a way that you can share with me so that I can be a co-host so that I can play my PowerPoint?
Yeah, you can. You can just click the share screen and you should be able to.
Perfect. Because I do see it here. Everyone can see this?
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So I prepared a biphasic sancocho, which means really that it has two main ingredients, the beef and chicken. The origins of the sancocho. So the sancocho, if you ask people from Colombia, they will tell you like, oh, I really don't know where it comes from, probably from the Spanish people, right? But I read a lot and I found so many sources from the sancocho that I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't know Ecuadorians have sancocho, in Venezuela people eat sancocho, and I found that the sancocho actually comes from Kenya, the western country in Africa. And there was this guy that was trying sancocho all around Latin America, ended up in Africa in one of his trips, and he said, I saw the chickens running all around on the countryside, and I was quite excited about it because I felt I was in Colombia somehow. Because one of the things that we do is on the weekends, we have either a house, an apartment, or a cabin, and if you don't have it, one of your friends has it. And then on the weekends, we just go and visit, and part of the culture is get together, socialize, and prepare the sancocho. People eat the sancocho, and we all expect the sancocho, right? Because it takes so many hours to actually get thick and prepare, and you will see that the potato and the yuca make this thick soup that people wait for it. And in some other places, you even, call your vacation resident and say, hey, can you please cut the chicken before the guests come? And that's what they do. So the Spanish also have a dish, and that's why they say our roots come from Spain in regards to sancocho, because they have two dishes One is basically what we call a sweated, like a sweated chicken that is with tomato, onions, kind of pan fried, and then you throw the chicken on top, and then it prepares like a nice sauce of tomato. That's what we call sweated. And the other one is a soup that has the yuca root and the rest of the starch. So as you will see, I'm gonna move it to the ingredients. This soup has a lot of starch. And why? Because part of what I read is that because it was a soup that not Spanish in our times before, Spanish didn't have the need to find something to eat because they had power, and power represented they ate well. But the slaves and then the mixed people really were not in the best place to eat beef and chicken and other products that could not afford. So what they used to have was mostly potato in different sizes and colors, like red, yellow, small, big, sweet, tangy. Then they had the yuca root, we have corn, and plantain. And if you know the plantain, we have the green plantain, but if you let it sit for a week, then you have a sweet plantain. So what the poor people really used to do is to cut all this starch and throw it with the less leftover chicken and beef, and they used to cook it. And that's how we ended up with this recipe, which is a recipe that to me is kind of sad because we learned that they didn't have a lot of the animal protein. But in time, people used to have their own chickens in the backyard or things like that. They could prepare their own dishes rather than waiting for the Spanish leftovers. So this recipe is full of starch, but if you miss one of the starchy veggies, you will see it's not the same flour, and it's not the same taste. And I hope you guys prepare it at some point in your house. The sancocho is kind of a way to bring families together. And as I was telling you, it's not that the social event is prepare the sancocho, but while people are gathering, they drink. We have very good drinks in Colombia that come from anise, and we have a good rum too. So people drink a little bit. Sometimes in the mornings, let's say, more or less from the brunch, they start preparing the sancocho. They cut cheese. We have in my side of Colombia, we have a very salty cheese that we call it costeño because it's from the Caribbean coast. And people eat it when they have a drink or two, and then they wait. When you drink and you want to have something to eat, they wait for the soup. The companion for the soup, you're not gonna believe what it is. After we have potatoes in different kinds, and corn, and yuca root, and plantain sweetened and green, the companion for these, what they accompany this soup with is rice. And you would think more starch, but it's quite delicious if we don't put the rice. I'm going to tell you how I prepared it, and then I'm going to show you the video because I made a video this morning when I was getting it together so that you can see how I prepared it. And if you have questions about the recipe, just I'm here to answer your questions. You may not find the same potatoes that we have there because we have in Colombia a small yellow potato that is very, it has like the taste of that pink apple that has like, I don't know how to explain it, but it has, you know how the sugar has these little granules? That potato is kind of like that. And we call it the criolla, which is, how do you say criolla in English, Anna?
I think that this is a very local potato, similar to the Peruvian potato, and I think that in the USA there is a similar yellow potato, but it's a little bit bigger and less tasty. But when I cook the empanadas, we put mashed potato. Do you remember? It was yellow. That's the potato that Salua is talking about.
Yes.
It's the yellow one.
Exactly.
It's very
almost like wild or native.
Yes,
Yeah.
wild or yes, native. Thank you.
Yeah, but the potato is very local. It's from Colombia. It's similar to the Peruvian one, but it's not exactly the same. It's small and yeah, it's delicious.
I know Miss Nadi has some connections with local vendors, so maybe she can somehow get us traditional Colombian potatoes.
Yeah, it is. It is traditional. It's very maybe native potato. It's a kind of native, I think. Yeah.
So as I told you, these are the ingredients. The more you put about lime, the best. But the thing is that because you know the lime has this sour taste, you have to let it cook a lot.
Wow,
So after you have it ready, you put it in a slow cook, and then it stays there for an hour or so until it gets very thick and very creamy, kind of. But it's not really creamy, but it's kind of the texture. So I'm gonna show you the video I made today.
Oh, that's special. Usually we see live action, but you already made the video. That's awesome.
Yes. Chicken. Okay, so it's only 3 minutes, and after that we can talk about the soup. We're gonna need chicken, beef ribs.
Oh, I think you have to share your screen a little differently because we are not seeing the video.
Right, I forgot. Yes, you're right. So let me see, stop this and then share again. And there we are. You guys should be seeing this now. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna need chicken, beef ribs, green beans, onions and potatoes, green plantain, and you can call this sweet plantain, carrots, green pepper, garlic, celery, yucca root, scallions, limes, and corn. I've added the chicken and the beef in this pressure cooker. Whole spoon of garlic. The beef is in the bottom. And I add lemon pepper, a bunch of it. This is a very lemony kind of soup. Soy sauce, plenty too. And of course, our American magic ingredient, the wishy-washy sour sauce. You know how to pronounce it better. To give good flavor to the beef. That means onions are ready, so I throw 1 spoon. And water. Water until it covers it completely. Okay, at this point, we do not need any salt. We just need to run it. And then we put meat for 35 minutes because we need the meat to be very soft. In a different bowl, we're gonna boil potato and yucca root. You see? In a third big pot, we're gonna add carrots, scallions, celery, and onions. Everything is all cut. And we're gonna pan fry it with a little bit of oil. In the third bowl, we're gonna add the plantain, the green and the sweet, the squash, and the corn. We add salt. And this is looking good. This is too. It's boiling already.
Magic tool.
When this is already boiling, I'm adding more lime. So this is boiling and this is boiling, and I'm gonna mix them together.
That's amazing.
And that's all.